A week before the wedding, I found a sweet surprise. My boyfriend's wedding ring had Addie engraved inside, the nickname he always used for me. I felt touched and excited, looking forward to our life together. But before I could fully enjoy the moment, he called. He was drunk from his bachelor party and needed me to pick him up. When I got to the venue, my heart dropped. There he was, holding another woman's hand, looking at her with a soft, loving expression. My heart raced when I heard him call her Addie. Our eyes met, and in that frozen moment, I noticed she was wearing a ring. It was identical to the one Glenn had picked for me. Just minutes ago, I thought that the ring symbolized our love. Now it was on someone else's finger. The room was filled with an awkward silence, broken only by a friend's nervous voice. Adriana, you're here. Glenn's a little drunk. Glenn stood up unsteadily as if to prove the point. He looked around but didn't meet my eyes. Addie? Isn't Addie sitting right here? He asked, slurring his words in confusion. His eyes finally landed on the girl beside him, and a smile spread across his face. I knew you'd come. You still care about me, he said, his voice filled with relief and affection. The girl he called Addie was wearing a flowing white skirt, her long hair falling softly around her. She was beautiful, with gentle features. As I looked at her, a shocking realization hit me. I'd seen her before in a photo in one of Glenn's books. My heart sank as I remembered the engraving on the ring. A cold realization hit me. We were both called Addie. Could this really be a coincidence? No, it couldn't. I felt myself go pale, my hands trembling. Adeline, noticing my unease, smiled widely. With a hint of sarcasm, she slipped the ring off her finger and handed it to me. Glenn was drunk. He didn't mean to give me the ring, she said, her voice full of mockery. Don't take it too seriously. He always acts childish when he's drunk. Her tone was sharp, but I took the ring, clutching it tightly. Finally, Glenn looked at me and started walking over, his eagerness giving me a small glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, he was about to explain everything. To my shock, Glenn's eyes became fierce like an animal guarding its food. He shouted angrily, "That's the ring I gave to Addie, not you. Give it back to her." A friend stepped in, trying to ease the tension with a forced smile. Glenn hasn't seen Adeline in a while. He's drunk and not thinking straight. Don't let it get to you, Addie. But Glenn's grip tightened painfully around my hand as he tried to snatch the ring from me. I could feel his fingers digging into my skin. I stared into his dark, intense eyes, but the dim lighting made it hard to see what he was thinking. His face looked so unfamiliar, and it was difficult to believe that this angry man was the same person who had once loved me so deeply, refusing to give up the ring. I watched in shock as Glenn stubbornly pried my fingers open, one by one, even as it felt like my skin might tear. Friends tried to intervene, but Glenn shoved them aside. In the end, he managed to pull the ring from my hand. He stumbled toward Adeline, holding the ring up, and sank to one knee with a devotion that almost seemed sacred. "Addie," he said, "will you marry me? This ring was made just for you. I've been waiting for you for so many years." The room fell completely silent, with only his proposal hanging in the air. My chest tightened with a painful mix of anger and betrayal. At that moment, I fully understood Glenn's love wasn't for me, but for Adeline. I gritted my teeth, feeling a burning pain on my face, and turned to leave. But just a few steps away, I heard a loud commotion and looked back. To my shock, Glenn collapsed and fainted on the floor. Adeline called out to me, "Take him home and pretend this never happened." She watched with a half smile and a touch of disdain. "Glenn invited me to your wedding. I'll be there tomorrow. It's too bad you're marrying him when you'll never be the one he truly loves. How unlucky for you." As others helped Glenn to his feet and led him to my car, they reassured me, "Sister-in-law, Glenn is just extremely drunk. You're getting married next week. Don't let this incident cause any trouble." I was briefly distracted, and before I knew it, Glenn was in my car. Adeline's smirk stayed in my mind as I drove away, her cruel words echoing clearly. It felt like my mind went blank, struggling to grasp the harsh reality of what had just happened. I couldn't decide whether the pain or the anger was stronger. Still, I couldn't just leave Glenn in his drunken state. Ignoring Adeline's taunts, I slammed the car door shut. I kept seeing the image of Glenn kneeling